Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer. And welcome to Wasteland Talks, my new budding talk show where I just kind of do whatever the hell. And this time I'm like, oh, April starts next month, actually next week, the week that this comes out. And, that's kind of the season now where big budget movie season starts because, screw summer. So we're going to be talking about our most anticipated movies coming out between April 1st and August 30th. So taking a deep dive here into a couple of the things that we each want to check out. I have Foster and Rowan, my two unsung heroes of Welcome to the Wasteland, who will come on and help out with basically any movie that nobody else wants to, which is awesome, and I appreciate it. So I'm going to let each of them introduce themselves. So go ahead, Foster.
Hey, I'm Foster. I have a Twitter that I don't do a ton with, and the letterbox that I do a lot with. Both of those are FOSTH101.
Awesome.
As Shane mentioned, my name is Rowan. I have a website called The Lenient Critic. That's The Lenient Critic, LENIENT.com. I'm also on Twitter at Lenient Critic. And the day that this drops, my Moon Knight review will be coming out. So that's very exciting. And also big plug here that I could save until the end, but I'm not gonna. A film that I've been working on is releasing on Thursday, March 31st, and that is the finale to the expanded universe that I've been working on for 5 years, just about. So 5 years, 4 years, it's one of those. So that will be coming to my YouTube channel, The Screen Avenger, on Thursday. So, yeah.
Awesome. Time is a construct, especially after the past 2 years.
Absolutely.
It's been a time warp. And I'm excited. I'll be making my first appearance on the Lenient Critic show outside of our quite long discussion about the Batman.
It was not as long as the discussion that Foster, Alice, and I had for Spider-Man No Way Home. That one was as long as the movie.
To be fair, there's a lot of things to talk about in that about that movie that I think a lot of people are like, I need to talk about it. We could have a appendix episode of us talking about the deleted scene from the Batman.
Oh, yeah.
That's floating around. Grotesque Joker. But anyway, what we're here to talk about is summer movie season kicking off, the big blockbuster season. And, there's a lot of exciting movies. So we're each going to talk about our top three. We're going to go our number threes, our number twos, our number ones. We'll see how many of them are actually similar because we didn't tell each other what we were going to say, because that's
better that way. Yeah.
So Foster, if you want to go first, what's your number three most anticipated?
All right, my number three most anticipated is The Black Phone. I did not write down the day this releases, but maybe you have it, Shane.
I think it was July 29th or something like that. July? They pushed it back again.
It was originally a January release, and I'm glad they pushed it to summer because that gives me hope.
Yes, and
it's just like, we have confidence.
Yeah, exactly. The early reactions that I saw are pretty positive. Yeah, June 24th. So
June 24th.
That excites me. And I really like Scott Derrickson. He just seems like a cool person to me. I like Doctor Strange. I like Sinister. Exorcism of Emily Rose, I think, is pretty underrated. I think that's actually a really good movie. Deliver Us from Evil, I did not think was a great movie, but there are things in it that are really cool. Like there's like an exorcism scene with Sean Harris as the possessed person, and Sean Harris is nuts.
He acts like a possessed person in some other things where he's not possessed.
Have you seen this movie?
No, I haven't.
You have no idea. So Sean Harris have you seen it, Shane?
I have not.
This is a real random poll I'm making here.
I think the only one that I've seen out of his actual horror films is Sinister.
Oh, okay. So I would really recommend Exorcism of Emily Rose. Deliver Us from Evil, I would not recommend, but it's one of those ones where if you watch it, there's cool things in it, even though I don't think the movie's great. But I feel like he has a real good understanding of horror. And Ethan Hawke, who I love, and is just in this year alone doing a lot of interesting stuff with Moon Knight, with The Black Phone, and he's in Knives Out too, right? He's probably in other stuff as well, but Yeah, love Ethan Hawke. The poster and the mask that he wears, and there's like this shot in the trailer of him like being weird and creepy with the mask, and yeah, it just looks like so up my alley. So that's my number 3.
Yeah, I remember when the trailer came out for this, because it's like, he dropped out of a Multiverse of Madness for whatever actual reasons, because I don't think we'll ever know what actual reasons, but I'm assuming
creative differences.
Because creative differences. I'm guessing that he wanted to make it a little bit scarier, and then it makes a whole lot of sense that they went out and got Sam Raimi to make it instead. But like, it gave me hope that Scott Derrickson would go and do something like he was really passionate about. And then I saw the trailer for this. I'm like, oh, dang. It's creepy. And, Ethan Hawke doesn't do things unless he's really confident in it. Unless Oscar Isaac just goes up to him in like a cafe or something.
Yeah.
How we got him to be in Moon Knight, which I'm still shocked that he's actually in a Marvel show. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty excited for Black Phone. And now I know why I thought it was the end of July, is because something else that got pushed back a whole bunch of months is that's that DC League of Super Pets. Because DC's just like yeeting every of their movies out
right after they released a trailer saying, hey, these are all the movies coming in 2022. Nope, actually the Flash is coming in 2023. Actually Shazam 2 is coming out this year.
Crazy. But Rowan, are you excited for the Black Phone?
I really am. It is on my honorable mentions list. Like Foster, I love many of the people involved. And the trailer, while I've seen it far too many times in front of movies in a theater, I still enjoy it every time I see it. It looks scary and it looks great. And yeah, I've been hearing some great things. It currently stands at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know how you guys feel about Rotten Tomatoes, but it bodes well, I think.
I feel like if it's that high, there's probably something to say about it.
Right.
And it also depends on how many actual reviews are in. Because if it's like the 10 people who are like, I loved it. And then it drops
Scott
like
Derrickson's like family or something.
Yeah. So Rowan, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Jordan Peele's new film, Nope. I tried my hardest to keep as little superhero films as I could in my top 3, especially because there are so many coming out in the next couple months and so many good ones, and maybe one will pop up later on. But for now, yes, Jordan Peele's film, Nope. Like in typical Jordan Peele fashion, we know pretty much nothing about this movie, and that is the way I prefer it. I think the man is a genius, and that's not just because he went to the school that I am currently recording this at right now.
Yep.
Even though he dropped out midway through, regardless. The trailer,
all the greats do, right?
Exactly. It's a badge of honor to drop out of college.
Rowan is walking out tomorrow morning.
And that's coming from somebody who works at one. So no, I don't actually agree with that.
And someone who's going to be a teacher. Yeah. Tread lightly, Rowan.
But yeah, so the cast here, we have, of course, recent Oscar winner Daniel Kaluuya. We have Keke Palmer, Stephen Yeun. Just some absolutely incredible talent here. And, just the speculation I've seen for this movie, if any of it's correct, it's like, it's going to be amazing. If none of it's correct, it's also going to be amazing, because that means that everyone failed to predict what Jordan Peele came up with, which I wouldn't be surprised about. My personal theory is that Nope is an acronym, and it stands for Not of Planet Earth, and the film will end up being about aliens. So some things in the trailer have sort of led me to that, have led me to that sort of half-assed conclusion. But regardless, yes, I am really, really excited for this. Anything Jordan Peele is one of the directors. Anything he puts out, if it's not The Twilight Zone on Paramount Plus, I will watch and I will love.
Which is funny because all of his movies feel like feature-length versions of Twilight Zone episodes.
Exactly. And the one time he tries to do a Twilight Zone show, it doesn't really work that well.
Not gonna lie, he got me every time though. It's just like he wanted to become a comedian, and that he found his stardom, but he also found himself in the Twilight Zone. I'm just like, oh my God, he's here. So, but I'm I was they just said the name and who was in it when they announced this movie. I'm just like,
Right.
Yep, I have my money. That's basically where I'm at with Jordan Peele movies.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, nope, yep for me. And honestly, at this point, Daniel Kaluuya is such a extremely talented actor that like I just want to watch him in anything. So
Absolutely.
I'm excited for the film. How about you, Foster?
Oh, of course. This would be like 4 or 5 maybe for me. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Daniel Kaluuya, fantastic. That's really cool. I think that he's coming back after Get Out. That makes me think like, I don't know. I feel like Jordan Peele has big things planned for Daniel Kaluuya, maybe if he is bringing him back. I'm a big fan of Stephen Yeun. I think he's just really cool. Have you seen Burning? Shane, I feel like you might have seen this.
Yeah.
He's amazing in that movie. That was the movie that made me like a big fan of his. Yeah, I don't know. I also feel like Aliens seems right. I don't even think I've watched the trailer. For a lot of these movies, I'm trying to avoid the trailers.
You're pulling an Aaron Dicer.
Yeah, I'm not like, if I see it in the theater, I'll watch it, but I don't look it up actively at home. That's my philosophy.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm doing at this point, unless it was Multiverse of Madness, because I definitely I had to. I'm just like,
of course.
Well, actually, to be fair, the first one, I guess technically the first trailer that I watched was in a theater because it was just at the end of a movie. And I saw the fuller trailer for Nope before. What the hell did I see? I know I watched
anything,
it before
honestly,
Batman.
based on what you see.
And then, it was before X that I saw. The trailer set before X was really exciting because between Men from A24 and which that looks creepy as hell.
I love it.
That's definitely like up there for me because I love Alex Garland. Annihilation and Ex Machina, chef's kisses. But yeah, I'm really excited for Nope. My number 3, so it's funny because Rowan, you said that you're trying to avoid including as many comic book movies. Not gonna lie, 2 out of 3 of them. I
have a feeling I know what they are, and I think mine is definitely on one of them is on my list as well.
So especially after all the hype around this and the recent trailer, my number 3 is Multiverse of Madness. Because I didn't fall in love with Doctor Strange after the first movie. I enjoyed the movie a lot. I thought there's a lot of cool things in it, but like as a character, I'm like, okay. But like Infinity War, I'm like, dang, I really love Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And it made me excited to see him get this kind of story because, he was in No Way Home, but like it's obviously Spider-Man's story. And Endgame, he's in it for like a hot second because like that was about the original Avengers and giving them their time to shine. But seeing what they're going to do with Wanda after WandaVision, having Doctor Strange, Illuminati, and Professor X, Patrick Stewart, and just the speculation on who the hell is going to be in this movie. And I think one of the things that got me this much more excited, which I feel bad because obviously Scott Derrickson left, but when they announced Sam Raimi was going to be directing this movie, I'm just like, this is perfect. Because who else is better at making absolutely insanely loony horror movies like Sam Raimi? And that one shot at the end of the trailer that might be some kind of demented Doctor Strange, nightmare, whatever the hell it is, looks straight at Evil Dead. I'm just like, oh. And there's a couple of shots in the trailer. I'm like, well, that's a Sam Raimi shot. Well, that's a Sam Raimi shot. So I'm excited to see what they do with Doctor Strange, because if they can balance what they did with No Way Home and make it still about Spider-Man, even though he had all those other cool things, that's why I'm so excited about this movie. It looks insane too. Just watching the trailer, I'm just like, this looks insane.
Yeah, the trailer is a movie unto itself. This is my number one, so I can talk about it a little bit more when we get there.
Yeah,
but like,
we'll get there.
My God, this movie is just, it has the potential to be the best MCU movie. It also has, I'm my fingers have stayed crossed since I have started learning more about it. It also has the potential to be like terrible due to its overcrowding. But I have faith in Marvel. I think they're riding high right now, and I don't think they would take any take any real risks right now. At least none, obviously take risks, but don't, I don't really see them squandering what they have going for them right now.
Any thoughts, Foster?
Yeah, this leads perfectly into my number 2, which is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, so I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed with all the Marvel stuff and Star Wars stuff that's been coming out over the past year, really. So this is like almost an exception for me in terms of the one that I'm just so insanely excited for, and it is pretty much 100% because of Sam Raimi. I love that man. I love the Raimi Spider-Mans. They are like top 10 movies of all time for me. The first 2 are perfect, I think. I love the Evil Dead movies and some others that he's made. I just love Sam Raimi. And yeah, when you watch this trailer, there are a few shots and I'm like, there he is. There's one where Doctor Strange is in bed and it like has this spiral thing as he wakes up. I'm like, ooh, I love it. There's one where he's going up the stairs and the camera has this weird tilty thing. There's the one that's in the, what is it, like a watch or something? I should know this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Right at the beginning of the first one, in the reflection you see him. That's really great. Also, the color grading is so much better, I think, than some of the past recent Marvel movies. Like the blacks are deep and the colors feel full. The coloring on Doctor Strange looks better. Like his hair is like black as opposed to the kind of weird brownish, grayish mush.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just look at a side by side of him in No Way Home versus this trailer, it's night and day for me. The camera is so fluid. Like when he comes out of the Sanctum Sanctorum, that's the whole building. Like the camera comes out, it's fluid as opposed to No Way Home, which I really like No Way Home just because of what it is. But I don't think it's like the most amazing technical achievement.
That was my biggest thing with it too. Sitting there, I'm like, I wish this was directed better, but I'm having too much fun to complain about it right now.
Exactly. It's shot like a sitcom, like especially the Doctor Strange stuff. Like when you see him come in and he has his mug and he's cracking wise with Peter. Call me sir, like that joke that they do 500 times. And then when
you're describing most of the running gags in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, exactly. But like when you see this Doctor Strange trailer and you see just how fluid the camera movements are, it makes my heart sing. I love that man. I would die for him. I'm so excited for this movie. Yeah. And also for Wanda coming back, correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like they're setting her up to be the villain.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely going to be an antagonist.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
magic really fight.
Yeah, that's a really interesting arc for her character after WandaVision.
Well, and in the trailer, when like she brings up a really good point of like, look at all the crazy stuff that Stephen Strange has done, and it's just like he's still a hero. And she like warped one town and then she's some kind of monster. And it's just like, dude almost destroyed reality in No Way Home over trying to get people to forget Spider-Man. And when she's like, that doesn't seem fair. And I'm like, oh no, this is going to escalate quickly. And like the shots, I think the one that really got me is that really fast like zoom in on Wanda's face, just like they do of Spider-Man and one of
absolutely.
Yep,
100%. There's another one which is like a special effects shot. I don't know how on earth to describe this. It's like this intergalactic looking thing that he's holding, and it's like got this really cool like emo looking purple black color palette. Like I'm so into it.
We're just all sitting here like, this is gonna get out of hand.
Yeah.
That was such a great tease at the end of that trailer that they released at the end of No Way Home, because I'm just like, wait a minute, what if it matters? Because that was the thing. Everyone's like, what the hell is this show?
Yeah.
And then it's just, oh wait, you didn't watch What If? You probably should.
It's going to be the season 2 premiere. What if season 1 was important to the MCU?
First episode.
Yeah.
So, Foster, that was your number 2. So, Rowan, what's your number 2?
You know, I am just going to amend my list right now. I'm going to make Doctor Strange my number 2 so I can continue the Strange train here. So when I saw the Lost City today, I saw the Doctor Strange trailer, the Super Bowl trailer again, on the big screen, and it just reminded me how, as you guys have been saying, how just gorgeous this movie looks, how dynamic it looks, and how much we don't know about the plot. We know some of the characters involved, but we knew more about Spider-Man even. Like we knew what Peter was trying to do. Here, we don't know the inciting incident. We don't know any of the plot developments. We don't really know what Strange is trying to do in this movie, which just goes to show like how good Marvel has gotten at marketing some things, not really some others. But Doctor Strange has been marketed extraordinarily well because they don't really need to market it too well because they know they're going to make like at least $500 million easy. I've heard a lot of things about this film from various rumor mills, from people who may or may not know inside things. If even half of the stuff that is out there on the internet that is stirring around, that is rumored, if even half of that is true, this movie is going to be like the MCU film, I think. As much as I would like it to be like Endgame or the original Avengers, I think that that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness will might make a name for itself as like the definitive like this is what incorporates all of the other like Marvel movies that have been released over the last 25 years. This is making this is making everything canon, but it doesn't have to be canon if you don't want it to. Which I think is an absolutely fascinating concept that honestly I think could be a whole episode even after Doctor Strange comes out and we actually know what the hell happens. Regardless, yes, this film just looks incredible. We have all of the major cast returning from the first film. We have Sam Raimi directing. We have Danny Elfman doing the music. We have just like, this movie has so much going for it, and even if it's terrible, even if they somehow screw the pooch so badly, it's still going to have the stuff from the trailer in it, and it's still going to be awesome. I don't care how good it is. I'm just so excited.
It's so crazy to think about too, because like we could get into a much deeper conversation about, because like because like I'm a huge Marvel fan. My biggest thing against Marvel, because I'm such a big fan of cinematography, is just like why can't you make an effort? It's just kind of like, let's just shoot it. Like, and even watching the first Avengers movie again now, I'm just like, why does this look like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Yeah. Up until like the third act of the movie. And like just looking at this trailer and that one shot of Strange's face coming close to the camera and his face just like pixelating into these giant, I'm just like, what is this? And just, it looks so vibrant and so interesting, and it looks insane, and it's madness. But the thing is, it's like, what's Mordo been up to? They had that tease at the end of the first film. Was he blipped? You have Rachel McAdams coming back, and if this is able to capture even a fraction of the emotion that one What If episode with Doctor Strange did, with him pining for her, that's going to be really interesting, because one thing that Marvel doesn't do the greatest at is making convincing love interests. Because like looking at you, Natalie Portman and Chris Hemsworth,
Is this the longest gap between the first like in a Marvel series, the first film and its sequel? I think it is. It's been 6 years since the first
That's
one.
a good question.
Yeah.
It might actually be.
Yeah, because Doctor Strange, Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America and Ant-Man. They're the only people that have gotten multiple films at this point, right?
Yeah, and this has been a while because did this come out in 2016?
2016 was the first one, yeah.
God, we're at 8 years ago. Or no, 6 years.
What year is it? Statistics professor Shane.
See, this is what I said. Time is a construct. We just spend 2 years in a time warp. I don't even know what to think anymore.
Sure.
It just feels like, because like there's that whole entire gap where we didn't get a Marvel movie for like a year, and it was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
And like when I I spent the $30 for Black Widow at home.
Oof.
And even when I turn that on, I'm just like, oh my God, it's a Marvel movie again. So I got so excited.
Yeah.
So my number 2, and I've been going back and forth in my head when I wanted to put number 1. I'm going to say, so Multiverse of Madness is not my top Marvel movie coming out this year because, God, I love Thor Ragnarok.
I knew it.
And I love Taika Waititi, and I cannot wait for Thor Love and Thunder. And like, we know not that much about this movie in terms of like plot and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I know there was a bunch of like set leaks and Taika Waititi flipping people off, and then, you know, the paparazzi looking into his threesome that he was probably having.
Who cares? So, who really cares?
Let the man live his life.
Exactly.
He can do whatever the hell he wants. And it's just like there were a lot of leaks of people like popping up because they were shooting like open in Australia, and people were just like long lenses and stuff like that. But like besides all that stuff, I really hope, like, honestly, I was just happy that Taika Waititi's coming back because he revitalized Thor. Because I felt like Thor was kind of dead in the water, to be perfectly honest, with how they treated him for the most part. Like, I enjoyed him a decent amount in the first Thor movie, and then he was nowhere near the most interesting person in Thor: The Dark World, which is funny because there's plenty of not interesting characters in Thor: The Dark World. Like, they literally had to shoot a bunch of scenes of Loki to make it more interesting. Yeah. But Ragnarok just had that spirit about it, and this seems like it's some kind of crazy 80s heavy metal kind of comic book movie. And I don't know if this is true or not, because, like, you know how they used Immigrant Song. Apparently they're going to use Rainbow in the Dark by Dio, and I'm like, and I could just imagine the tone of this movie. And, you know, you have Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher, which is interesting. And it's going to be, if I get more Thor, I get more Korg. I just get all the things that I loved about Ragnarok. But I am hoping that it digs a little deeper. Because like the Thor Ragnarok, which is so interesting that was like about the apocalypse, and it was like the most breezy Marvel movie. But there's just so many elements about this film that I'm excited about. And you know, like Natalie Portman's like, the only reason I came back was because this was Taika Waititi doing this. And I'm like, that says a lot. And I'm such a huge fan of his work, from, you know, Boy to What We Do in the Shadows and Hunt for the Wilder People, Jojo Rabbit. I'm just excited for this a lot. So there's my number 2.
Hell yeah. That's my number 4, which goes to show how excited I am for it. I just, you know, like, again, Shane, as you mentioned, this is one that we know so little about, and I love it. I love it so much because that is exactly how it should be. You know, I've seen a lot on the internet about fans are clamoring for the release of Thor: Love and Thunder trailer. I don't care. I'm going to go see the movie either way. I mean, release a trailer if you want. I'm going to watch it. but still, it's Marvel. You have my number, and it's Taika Waititi. He also has my number. So together they both have my number, which is, they both get the same thing out of it. But regardless, this movie just looks great. We have the Guardians coming back. As you mentioned, Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher. We might get Russell Crowe as Zeus, which would be quite interesting. But yeah, consider me all in on Thor, and honestly, any Marvel movie. I don't even care if it's another Eternals. I'll take it.
Honestly, at this point, they could let all the other Guardians leave like after like the first 10 minutes, as long as they leave Rocket and Groot. Because I want a whole movie, just the three of them. I want to see Thor, Rabbit, and Tree on an adventure, because they were the best part of Infinity War. At least for me. How about you, Foster? What are your thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder?
Oh, of course I'm excited for this. I think Christian Bale might be the thing that excites me the most, just because it's pretty amazing. I will say, though, as much as I love Thor Ragnarok, I was a little underwhelmed with Cate Blanchett, because I feel like they tried to make her a bit too funny, and like her comedy didn't really work for me as much. I like the look of her character. I thought that looked really cool. So like I hope Christian Bale can be like a real like intense villain. That would be awesome. I also love that we don't know a ton about it, and maybe that's why I didn't put it in my top 3, just because I feel like I don't even know enough about it to have that level of excitement. But of course I'll be there opening day.
Yep. Christian Bale reuse his Batman voice as Gore. Give me the gods.
And Natalie Portman doing Lady Thor, right? That should be pretty fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I don't have anything to add. You all have more to say about this than I do, but yeah. Also,
and that's the thing. It's just like there's so much to speculate about it, because we literally know nothing plot wise about this movie, and we know a lot less about the movie if it wasn't for people snapping shots all over the place, because they ruined some great cameos already, and I'm not going to mention them, because if you've been able to avoid them, good, because people are jerks. But Foster, what's your number one?
My number one, I'm wondering if it's the same as yours, Shane. The Northmen is my
sure is.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited for this movie. It's coming out soon. It's in April.
It's a month away.
April 22nd.
Yeah.
Oh boy. That trailer does some things for me. From Robert Eggers doing this. I really like The Witch. The Lighthouse, I like a lot of things about it. I think it's one that I want to love more than I actually love, but like I think the dialogue is so cool. Willem Dafoe is nuts.
The fact that he didn't win Best Supporting Actor for The Lighthouse is a travesty.
Absolutely. That was Brad Pitt who won that year. Yeah, I really loved Tom Hanks that year. This is an aside rant. Of the nominees, I think he was the one I wanted to win. But yeah, I was like, why is Willem Dafoe not here? And especially because the Academy likes him. Like they nominated At Eternity's Gate, and they didn't nominate The Lighthouse. Yeah. And they nominated him for Florida Project. I don't know what they were doing that year, but anyways, Robert Eggers, I think his visual style is so cool. And the fact that he's doing a Viking movie, which when have we gotten a good Viking movie recently? I can't even think of any off the top of my head of ever. I don't think I've seen a Viking movie, especially.
I can only facetiously say I've been awaiting Spaceball in History of the World Part 2 with a Viking funeral. That's about it.
I still need to see that. That's Mel Brooks.
History of the World Part 1, and we're still waiting, Mel. We want Part 2, except he's still 90-something years old.
He's gonna pull a George R.R. Martin and release History of the World Part 2 after he dies. Not that it's confirmed George R.R. Martin is going to release the last Game of Thrones book after he dies, but like, come on, he wants to avoid that controversy.
But anyway, back to the Northmen.
So the visuals in this trailer look nuts. There's this one part where Alexander Skarsgård, is a beast of a man in this trailer, like a spear, I think, gets thrown at him and he catches it. And also Willem Dafoe, as usual, is just like the weirdest man I think to exist on this planet.
He did like this trailer for 5 seconds. And you're just like, oh my God, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, like what is the context of this scene? You know, I mean, you could say that
between him and Bjork,
exactly
popping up for like 5 seconds a piece. You're just like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, and in the past few years, I haven't been the hugest fan of Nicole Kidman's most recent stuff, but this seems perfect for her.
What about the AMC commercial, Foster?
Oh, absolutely. The AMC commercial is top tier cinema, aside from the AMC commercial.
There we go.
Because here they are. Because she's just a naturally scary woman. I'm sorry. Chills go down my spine every time I see that commercial and she stares into my eyes. But I'm just imagining her that energy channeled into this Viking movie. And yeah, I mean, she's supposed to be a loving mother, but she scares me.
Well, that, to be fair, we don't know if she's a loving mother or not.
This is true. Also, Ethan Hawke, is he in this too?
Yeah.
Is he the dad? That was another thing. Did I forget to mention that when I was rattling all what a year he's having? Oh boy, I'm just rambling. Shane, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah. So, because Rowan, is your number one different?
My number one is different. The Northman was my number 6.
Okay, because then I'm just going to talk then, and then I'll let Rowan wrap up.
Boo, Rowan.
Oh my God. The cast in this movie, Alexander Skarsgård, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh, yes.
Who's just like, at this point, just like kills it in everything. Mm-hmm. Even her ridiculous over-the-top Russian accent in New Mutants. I'm just like, you're the most interesting thing in this movie. And then even like Class Bang doesn't even get to say a single word in this whole entire trailer, and he's just looming there. And just, I don't know if there's going to be anything that I quote more this year than avenge father, save mother, kill Fjolnir. Already quoting it so much. I only seen the trailer, and it's the same trailer they've been playing for months. And every time I see it, I'm just like, yes, yes. This is the most A24 looking, not A24 movie ever, because Focus Features won out picking up Robert Eggers for this movie, because you can tell the scale of this is so much bigger than The Witch and The Lighthouse, because they're two very claustrophobic kinds of films. And this is like sprawling, like that, like lava on top of lava battle at the end of the trailer. I'm just like, oh my God. And yeah, Alexander Skarsgård is unbelievably intimidating in this trailer. And that, yeah, when I saw that first thing where he caught that spear and chucked that back at that guy and killed him, like, what? And then you can tell what kind of movie you're seeing in the theater when you show the trailer, because they edit it ever so slightly to not show him absolutely demolishing people. That one guy on the horse, like, it's going by, it's like, that guy got messed up. And it's just, I saw this trailer, I think, here's the thing, I saw this trailer twice this past weekend, and I saw the Multiverse of Madness one 3 times this past weekend. I'm just like, they're just killing these trailers with the two of them, and I can't get enough of either trailer. So, and this is just like a random side thing, though. If you're a huge fan of Robert Eggers and wouldn't mind watching a 3-hour documentary, on Shudder, they have a whole entire documentary about folk horror, and he's in it a lot because obviously that's what he does. Mm-hmm. So, just side note.
Yeah. Random thing. I also always appreciate a good font for like a movie title, and the font that they have for the Northmen is perfect. Yeah. I mean, like if a title can just make me like amazed at the font, you've done something well.
Well, you know, when The Irishman came out, they had a whole entire trailer of just 4 people's names, the name of the movie, and one line. And it's just like, yep, sold.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could do a lot with a little. And, you know, just the title of a movie can really grab your attention. because I remember when they first announced this was going to be a next movie, and it's just like a Viking epic, and I'm just like, what? And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I have to, because I was one of those people who did fall in love immediately with The Lighthouse, and that was my number 2 movie. And it's funny because this evening, my fiance was complaining about. He's like, "How didn't Robert Pattinson get nominated for an Oscar? How did Willem Dafoe not
Yeah.
win an Oscar?" I'm like, it literally only got cinematography as a nominee. But yeah, I know some of the SiftPop people are not fans of The Lighthouse.
Yeah, you gotta respect this though. Like, this is why I'm so excited for the Northmen. Is between the witch and the lighthouse, the dialogue is so authentic. It feels so authentic. Like, I heard him, he was on the A24 podcast with Ari Aster. I don't know if you listened to that. But there was like, it's just an hour-long conversation of them nerding out about movies. It was pretty fun. He's like a nerd for really specific periods of history and just likes doing deep dives. I mean, that's pretty clear from the movies too, but like everything from the costumes to the sets, everything just feels like you're watching, it feels like a time capsule. Like when you watch The Witch, the reason that's so uncomfortable and scary by the end of it is because everything feels like you're watching real people. And so then when supernatural things start happening, it's supremely unsettling. And yeah, so to have that level of attention to detail with Vikings, nuts. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I also can't wait for it to be like real artsy and weird, and all the casual movie people who think it's going to be like a very normal standard Viking Ridley Scott style epic are going to be like, what was that at the end of the movie? I can't wait for that. Bring it on, baby.
Now, Rowan, what's your number 1?
Well, my number 1. Well, first off, I just want to say, also very excited for the Northmen. I am a fan of Robert Eggers' previous work. Foster, you and me, opening day. Looking forward to it.
Okay, sounds good.
This, you guys have basically covered it all. This just looks great, and so delightfully weird and awesome. My number 1 is a film that is coming in the first month that counted for this preview, and that is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, the Nicolas Cage film in which Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage, who is probably still playing Nicolas Cage, however many layers deep you want to go. Every time I see the trailer for this, no matter which trailer it is, I just get super excited. Reviews coming out of South by Southwest are raving. Currently stands at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, with even more reviews than The Black Phone. This movie just looks so weird and so amazing. And if you wanted like the most Nicolas Cage movie to ever Nicolas Cage, I think this one is going to satisfy. Like, I think this one is going to scratch that itch. Just the fact that all of the celebrities in this movie, of course, Nicolas Cage, Pedro Pascal, Neil Patrick Harris, Tiffany Haddish, Ike Barinholtz, just all of them, and I'm sure there'll be even more. And I'm sure there's going to be so many that we don't know about. This movie just looks, I don't know if it looks incredible, but it looks like the most fun I will have at the movies this year. So yes, I am supremely looking forward to this film.
I remember when I heard about this movie for the first time, trying to wrap my head around that this actually existed. And because I have some good contacts at Lionsgate. So I consistently get Lionsgate screeners and stuff like that. And when they put their official slate out and I saw, oh my God, this is a real movie. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to see this movie right now. Because my fiance and I are both 100% Nick Cage heads. We will watch, I'll watch anything that he's in. Not facetiously, one of Jess's favorite movies is Vampire's Kiss, just because how absurd he is. And the thing is, he's a great actor. It's just, he makes some very interesting choices. And he'll say no to nothing. But this movie, I can't wait to see the buddy comedy fun that Pedro Pascal and Nick Cage have in this movie. Because even just from the little bit from these 2 trailers that I've seen, oh my God, they just look like they're having so much fun. And like, looks like Pedro Pascal could even steal the movie from them. And I can't stop quoting, like, is this me? Oh, it's grotesque. I'll give you 20,000 for it. It's just like the most ridiculous Nick Cage thing to do is spending ridiculous amount of money on random stupid stuff. And in honor of this, I had a couple of friends over this past weekend, and it turned into we were going to watch a Nick Cage movie, and we wound up watching Mandy, which if you haven't seen that, oh my God. And then for my movie club with all my friends, in honor of this coming out, we're going to watch Adaptation and talk about it next month. Because if you need 2 Nick Cages for the price of 1, go see Adaptation. But yeah, this just looks like the most absurd concept and the most fun I'm going to have in a movie theater this year or at home, depending on if I get a screener or not. But either way, I'm just super excited for this.
Yeah. I was like very cautiously optimistic about it until I saw all the reviews, which are shockingly good and makes me pretty excited. I am also a big fan of Nicolas Cage. I still need to make my way through some of the bad ones. Is Vampire's Kiss where he does the alphabet?
Yeah. I didn't mess up the filing, not once, not one time. It's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, Q, R, S, T, V, X, Y, and Z.
Amazing.
Yep. And it's like the kill me. It's like, what else is that from? It's like, oh my God. It's like, I'm a vampire. I'm a vampire. Like all those, like, if you haven't spent at least some time on the internet watching Nick Cage compilation videos, what are you doing with your time?
Yep.
That's why I ask people watching this video right now.
Yeah. Mandy's got that great chainsaw fight, right?
That movie's so demented.
Yeah. I need to watch that again. So like most of the ones I've seen from him are the good ones, I think, where he's like giving genuine good performances, because I've sought those out. I also love Face Off, I think is pretty. Yep, of course.
The creepiest line I think I've ever heard in a movie. If I let you suck my tongue, would you be grateful? Just like, what? What did he just say?
Yeah, that's a quotable movie. I could eat a peach for days, right? And
hallelujah. That opening scene in that movie is the most ridiculous thing.
Did you all see the photos of him as Dracula?
Yeah. I was going to ask.
I'm so excited. It's Christmas K, right? I think it's going to be like super self-aware and fun. I'm so pumped for this. Those photos actually, even though they look weird, completely sold me on it, because it's like full-on Bela Lugosi, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
Oh, how perfect. Because he's talked about in interviews and stuff, like how influenced he was by silent actors and like German expressionist actors. Perfect that he's going to be Dracula. What a man.
See, now he gets to play a vampire instead of a guy who thinks he's a vampire.
Is that what that movie's about? I need to watch this. I so badly wish
he's not an actual vampire. He's just convinced that he's become a vampire, and it's the dumbest thing. Objectively, it's not a great movie, but like you're just watching just this train wreck.
Yeah.
There you go. And Justice for Pig.
Yeah.
Which got completely overshadowed.
Pig was robbed, which is both the plot of the film and its status of its Oscar nomination.
Yeah. See, at least we got Nick Cage on the Hollywood Reporter Roundtable.
That was a great one.
Him talking about that horse trying to murder him. Was it Andrew Garfield who kept like being like fascinated with him talking about this horse? Because like Simon Rex, Andrew Garfield, Jonathan Majors, Peter Dinklage, and Nick Cage.
That was a wild lineup. Yeah.
But yeah, so we have some things that we're pretty excited about, obviously. Now, I'm going to kind of run through these months and some of the big movies coming out. So obviously we're starting April with, Morbius is finally coming out.
Is anyone excited for Morbius?
I'm not.
Anymore? I'll
To
watch it.
be
and
frank,
that's the
I
kind of
wasn't
thing
even
can say.
excited when they announced this movie, and it's like Jared Leto as Morbius, the living vampire. I'm like, and then the trailers came out. I'm just like, what's this from 2006?
I hear that it cut almost all of its like universe references, all mentions of Spider-Man cut, all but one of Michael Keaton's scenes cut, which like I don't know why they are like cutting, what might be the best parts of the movie.
Well, my guess, if that's the case, is that Marvel's probably going to have Tom Holland for a while. And like, sorry, spoilers for one of the teasers at the end of No Way Home, because like, you've had months at this point. Like the fact that they completely listlessly bring Venom into this universe and just throw him right back just to leave a little piece of the symbiote and not have Tom Hardy interact with this world barely at all, that says a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really going to cross over anything at this point, because now they could just have another Spider-Man, right? Because Andrew Garfield's going to be doing Spider-Man movies until he's 50 now. We have Ambulance, which I think is one of the only Michael Bay movies that I've seen a trailer for in years that I'm kind of like, it doesn't look like a complete train wreck.
It looks like an ambulance wreck is what it looks like.
Looks like it looks like a car wreck all throughout the whole entire trailer. Like Jake Gyllenhaal is the only thing that has me like, if Jake Gyllenhaal did this movie, I feel like there's something about it, right?
You gotta give Yahya Abdul-Mateen II some credit as well. He like the man has never turned in a bad performance in anything.
Well, I'm just saying because like if Jake Gyllenhaal agreed to do this movie, I'm assuming there's some kind of depth to it at this point. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which the more and more they lean into like that one poster that was like straight up the second Sonic game cover, I'm just like, the more they lean into this being really like the actual games, I'm just getting that much more excited about it.
Yep, that is my number 9 on my list.
Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore.
I'm somehow more excited about this than Foster, the bigger Harry Potter fan.
I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Like I religiously read those books, watched those films, and I am I don't know how to feel anymore about the like these extra Wizarding World films. I'm just like, I just was so underwhelmed, especially by Crimes of Grindelwald. I'm just like, I'm finding it hard to get excited about this movie, and it makes me sad.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Who asked for this is my question.
The studio.
I am the target audience for this. Even with all the controversies, of which I feel like there are 8 million, I am still a huge Harry Potter fan. I've been rewatching them. I've just rewatched 3 yesterday. Perfect.
Nice.
It's just wonderful. I've read the book several times. I've got all the merchandise. The first Fantastic Beasts movie, I liked it quite a bit. I don't think I've gone back to it since the theaters. I saw it twice in theaters though.
Same.
If it was just a one-off and they wanted to do like random one-offs throughout the Wizarding world, cool. But I think they realized that their premise of centering 5 movies on the author of a textbook that Harry used in one of his classes was not that great, and they quickly turned it into the Dumbledore versus Grindelwald duel, which is what they've been leading up to. And I don't know if they're still planning on doing 5 movies, because it feels like they're kind of building up to it in this movie maybe, and in the last movie it felt like nothing happened, and then in this trailer it looks like more of nothing happening. And then also having Colin Farrell be Grindelwald in the first movie, and then plot twist, it's Johnny Depp, and then it's Johnny Depp in the second movie, and now it's Mads Mikkelsen, who honestly could have just been him all along, because that's pretty great casting. Although I actually think Johnny Depp's pretty good as Grindelwald. I think like he's kind of underrated, especially in that first movie. His scene, like will we die just a little, or something he says to the people arresting him. It's like, ooh, weird. Johnny Depp is back. Okay. And Colin Farrell, it could have just been him the whole way through, but changing actors each movie for different reasons. There's like no sense of continuity here, to the point where when they do the duel, it's like not even going to be cool. It's like the one promise of this series, this spin-off series, was this duel. I don't care about the duel anymore. And in the trailer too, I'm going on forever about this movie, sorry. In the trailer, it's like the duel looks like a white mush background. I don't know if they're showing the duel, but they're showing them on screen together fighting. So maybe it's the duel. I don't even know. Compared to the original Harry Potter movies, which are so visually cool. Like we're talking about how the Marvel movies don't necessarily have a lot of style. These movies have so much style. They look amazing, especially Prisoner of Azkaban because of Alfonso. But like the David Yates movies, they look fantastic. I love that look. I don't know what really happened with these Fantastic Beasts movies, but like I'm not really feeling any. They're showing Hogwarts, and I'm not really feeling the same amount of wonder that I do whenever I see them in the Harry Potter movies. I'm so disappointed in this. So I just had to rant for a little bit. The moment I shut up, I'm gonna remember 800 other things I wanted to say, but I got to stop myself, otherwise I'm hydroxying.
I just feel like, why even call these Fantastic Beasts movies? Like, they don't have anything to do with that.
They're making the title is significantly smaller as the posters and trailers get released.
Exactly. And also, Ezra Miller, why? What is that even? What is this even? I don't know. I'm checked out. But anyway, so there is an actual other wide release the same weekend as the Northmen and the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and that's the Bad Guys, that new animated film. Like, they got Sam Rockwell to do this. I'm like, and of course Billie Eilish, bad guy in the trailer. I think it looks pretty fun. I'm like not opposed to it. I do have to do a quick shout out because like April 29th has no big wide releases, but there's a Jeff Goldblum narrated Fiddler on the Roof documentary, and I'm like, in. So, and then we have Doctor Strange coming out May 6th, May 13th, Firestarter, which is a Stephen King adaptation, which also is getting dropped on Peacock the same day.
Starring Zac Efron, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Interesting casting. I've not read Firestarter. I will try it before the movie comes out.
I haven't either. And it looks like they finally got a date down for Downton Abbey, A New Era, which is May 20th, because that got moved.
Yeah.
And also the Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie comes out on Disney Plus that day too.
Yay. Can you tell how excited I am?
So my wedding weekend, which is Memorial Day weekend, the Bob's Burgers movie comes out, and I'm so dang excited because I'm just a huge Bob's Burgers
What's
fan.
the event that weekend that you're most excited for, Shane?
Well, it's funny because my fiance and I are going to go see this opening night that Thursday because we get married on Sunday. We have time. And then for my bachelor party, apparently my brother and all my friends were going to go see Top Gun Maverick. Because originally John Wick Chapter 4 was supposed to come out that weekend, and my brother didn't realize that it got moved a year and was like, we're going to go see John Wick. Surprise. I'm like, Ethan, it got moved. And he's like, what? So it just so happens Top Gun Maverick, which I'm actually pretty excited about. And, you know, there we go.
I still haven't seen the first one. I will get to it.
June 10th, we have Jurassic World Dominion. Who on this call is actually still excited about Jurassic World movies?
I didn't hate the last one.
Okay, I won't go on as long. A couple things. Number one, I kind of agree with Rowan. I did not hate the last one as much as everyone else did. And I'll tell you why. J.A. Bayona. I thought the script was the dumbest thing I've ever seen, but there are some cool visuals, and the movie knows that it's absolutely stupid. And so like it has some fun, I think, in that last third when it's just like dinosaurs roaming throughout the mansion.
Bones. Sorry.
And the opening, like the underwater horror style opening, that was cool to me. Like the underwater scene with that submarine that's moving around and that water. I don't know all the dinosaur names. I should shut up. Okay, but
The big dinosaur and the small dinosaur.
Yes, exactly. This movie, the one thing that's a pet peeve of mine is it looks so clean compared to the original Jurassic Park, especially when you look at like Sam Neill and like his beard feels trimmed normally and like cleanly, and the wardrobe feels like it's fresh off the old Navy rack, you know, like it. Whereas the original Jurassic Park, it's like he's dusty, he's like insulting children and
Wait, you mean he's
them.
like an actual like he goes out and digs?
Yeah. Same with Laura Dern. It's like she looks like a supermodel with her hair flowing. It's like they look way too clean. And this is with like so many modern blockbusters.
The only one who's supposed to be cool is Jeff Goldblum.
This is true. Yes. Who, by the way, is in his 60s, right? And Sam Neill
almost 70.
Sam Neill's up there as well. But
still killing it.
Even so, I can't help but smile when I see Sam Neill. He's so good. I love Sam Neill, and I love him in Wilder People. Have you seen Peaky Blinders? Have you seen Peaky Blinders, Shane?
Yeah.
Or Rowan?
Oh God, season 6, June.
Yeah, I'm one season behind, so I've seen the first 4 seasons. I really love it, but I'm busy right now.
Welcome to fascism.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about the 5th season.
Okay. So that's all for me.
So I checked out on Jurassic World when a velociraptor rode a T-Rex and then a giant whale dinosaur RKO'd a weird, crazy dinosaur out of nowhere and killed it. So
you, sir, have no taste. That is peak cinema right there.
As
someone show Martin Scorsese
fan,
that movie.
I literally in the theater tried to not scream it. Was like RKO out of nowhere. When that thing just came out of nowhere, I'm just like, what is this? These movies are so dumb, but you know, they could be dumb fun. I just feel like it's hard when like this started with Jurassic Park, and like look where has this come. But I don't know. I think it had some potentially interesting ideas, you know, with like dinosaurs everywhere. Lightyear, which is getting a lot of attention that I did not expect it was going to get, because Florida and Disney. So, but when that David Bowie song just like kicks in there, I'm just like, that trailer's amazing.
It is.
That gets so excited. That's June 17th, June 24th. We had The Black Phone and Elvis.
Yeah, the movie that Tom Hanks got COVID for.
Yes. In Australia, because Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah.
Shotgun Wedding comes out the next week. Yeah. Josh Duhamel's in it. Jennifer Lopez is in it. Jennifer Coolidge is in it. That just says everything I need to know about that movie. Minions: The Rise of Gru comes out July 1st.
I take back what I said about Jurassic World. Minions: The Rise of Gru is peak cinema right there.
Yeah, is it too late to revise our top 3?
Yeah, I want all of my movies to have Steve Carell playing a 10-year-old child.
Yeah. Let's go back and refilm some Foxcatcher scenes.
July 8th is when Thor: Love and Thunder is coming out. So
yeah.
The 15th is Bed Rest, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, and Where the Crawdads Sing.
I saw a trailer for Where the Crawdads Sing before The Lost City today. It looks great, not just because Daisy Edgar Jones, the recent star of Fresh, is starring in it, but also I've heard great things about the book. And so I consider me looking forward to this one as well.
Also, yeah, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I don't know anything about this movie, but when I was looking up all the stuff that is coming out, Jason Isaacs and Isabelle Huppert, or if you're pretentious, Isabelle Huppert.
I am pretentious. I will say that from now on.
Okay, she's pretty incredible. I think she's like, I need to see more of her. But have you seen The Piano Teacher, Shane?
I have not.
It's like one of the greatest performances ever. She's pretty amazing.
She is amazing. Like, crap. Was that a Paul Verhoeven film that she was in? That,
Hell?
yeah.
Yeah, I need to see it, but it's on my radar. And Jason Isaacs, who I'm obsessed with ever since Mass.
Why isn't he in Obi-Wan Kenobi? Looking at you, Disney. You brought the Grand Inquisitor in, and you didn't bring Jason Isaacs in.
Cast Rupert Friend instead. A talented actor, but like, come on, Disney. You have the Jason Isaacs. You have the money for Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, we have July 22nd is Nope. July 29th, Bullet Train. That looks like a lot of fun. It also looks ridiculous. DC League of Super Pets.
Again,
they're really leaning in on the kids on that one.
Yep. Keanu Reeves is Batman.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves is Batman. The only time we'll ever get to have that ever, which makes me sad because I would actually want to see that kind of. August brings us Easter Sunday, which I don't know much about.
They switch the holidays around on us? They switch the holidays around on us?
Yeah, apparently. Secret Headquarters, which has Owen Wilson in it.
It also has Walker Scobell, who played the younger Ryan Reynolds in The Atom Project. This is his second film role, which is quite exciting. August
12th, we have Bros.
It's just 90 minutes of me and my friends hanging out. Sorry to spoil it for you guys.
The Man from Toronto, which has Woody Harrelson, Kaylee Cuoco, Kevin Hart. This list of movies seems very August to me.
Yeah, I have no idea what any of these are, and of course there are no trailers out for them, which doesn't usually bode well. Half of them are probably going to get pushed around.
The movie Beast that comes out August 19th has Idris Elba and Sharlto Copley in it.
I like it.
August 26th has Samaritan, which was originally supposed to come out last year with basically Sylvester Stallone being a retired superhero who comes back into the spotlight, which, like, hey, that could be a nice, fun surprise August movie. Why not? But yeah, Steam really hits out when it hits August. Like, Guardians came out in August, right? The first Guardians movie, I'm pretty sure.
Sounds about right.
So it's like, there could be special things. I don't know about this year though. Because that's the thing, because like the reason I started with April, I'm like, there's so many awesome looking movies coming out in April, and then it just keeps going, and then I guess August is just like, well, we need to get ready for the fall, so let's not go too crazy. Special shout out to September with Puss in Boots getting a sequel after how many years?
The people were clamoring.
Yeah.
For the record, I own Puss in Boots, and I'm a huge fan of
Noted.
Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots. Why is this coming out like 10 years later? I don't know. And
I was the target demographic when the first Puss in Boots. I think I was younger than the target demographic when the first Puss in Boots came out.
I was 20 when the first one came out, and I did love, like, I have it sitting right there. But like, I'm just like, this is way too late. And like, I even just saw like quick clips. I'm like, I didn't think the animation even looked that good either. I'm like, DreamWorks, what are you skimping? I don't know. They spend all their money on How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, and we're just like, well, we have no more money left. But so that's what the summer is going to look like. Big movie season, I guess. Just you have your palate cleanser in August where you're just like, what the hell all this is? But we have some interesting things all the way through the summer. But I guess, Rowan.
I have one more, if that's okay with you, that I would like to shout out that was not mentioned. This is a movie, technically not a summer movie, but it is coming out this week as this episode comes
All
out.
of 10 and a half.
No, well, that one I already saw that one.
I know. I'm jealous of
huge
you.
recommend. It's my favorite of the year so far.
I'm a huge Richard Linklater fan. Sorry, I just interrupted you. Go
No,
ahead.
no. By all means, yeah, that's coming out April 1st. Also out on April 1st, also on Netflix, is a movie called The Bubble. Directed by Judd Apatow, which, he's sort of has a so-so record of directing. This is about a film crew, a film casting crew, doing a movie in a pandemic bubble. And it has just an absolutely wonderful cast, including but not limited to Leslie Mann, Karen Gillan, Pedro Pascal, Benedict Cumberbatch, Keegan-Michael Key, Peter Serafinowicz, Fred Armisen, Kate McKinnon, Rob Delaney. Suffice it to say, I am ridiculously excited for this movie. I don't know if it's going to be good, but it is going to be a comedy with a lot of great actors, and that's all that I really care about.
Also, I have to ask both of you, do both of you have access to everything, everywhere, all at once this weekend?
We are both seeing it together tomorrow.
We're seeing it tomorrow in IMAX. I'm so excited.
Okay, not that this should be on here. Just to clarify, you chose not to do the IMAX one. You chose the other one. But
oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Let's haggle these details out.
Oh well.
Yeah. Want to get lunch before? No, sorry. They announced I saw it last night. There some select members of the cast are coming by to our theater screening for a Q&A afterwards. So I don't know who that means, but that's kind of exciting. And this is at this theater they do a lot of events. Like whenever you see online, like Tom Holland surprises fans, and you're like, Where is this? It's like it's at this theater. So I'm betting they have some cool guests.
So I'm not a city person. I get overwhelmed by the city, but this is legitimately the only reason I would ever want to live in a city is to take advantage of movie things.
Yep.
Specifically New York.
I'm gonna be missing out a lot during the summer when I go back to Cape Cod.
Yeah, because right now there's not a single theater in New Jersey playing it. I do have a free member screening of it this coming Wednesday at the Philly Film Center.
Mm-hmm.
So at least I'll get to see it in Philly next Wednesday because I'll be talking about it with Rowan at some point. I'm like, oh crap, am I even going to be able to see it before then? I'm like, yes.
I didn't know when I scheduled it on the podcast. I was not aware that it that the release was not as wide as I thought. If you hadn't been able to see it, we wouldn't have discussed it. But I'm glad that you are getting the chance.
I'm like, I had to kind of convince my fiance because we really haven't gone into cities much. So I'm like, I'm already paying for this membership. Can we just go, please? Because I just renewed my membership and it was like $150 membership for the two of us. And I'm a working adult. I have disposable income. So I'm like, I'm going to give back to the movie community. I'm just like, but I want to take advantage of this.
Right.
So going to see that on Wednesday. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah.
But a lot of things to get excited about. And I hope all of you out there got excited about what we talked about too. And maybe agree with some of our rants because some of these movies are a little frustrating. But one last time, Foster, shamelessly plug whatever you'd like to shamelessly plug as we sign off to our lovely audience.
Letterboxd, FOSTH 101.
Bam. Thank you, Foster. Rowan.
Also Letterboxd. I believe my username is The Screen Avenger. I would love to change it, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. Or you can also search my name, Rowan Wood. YouTube channel, also called The Screen Avenger. And once again, The Lenient Critic. I also write for SiftPop and The Invention of Dreams. So some of my articles can be found there, especially on the Invention of Dreams. I recently covered the South by Southwest Film Festival. So you can find a lot of my reviews from that on The Invention of Dreams. So
yeah. Awesome. Thank you both, as always, for coming on the show and being awesome contributors to my channel, which I really appreciate. And within the week, I'll know who my next director is.
And I will be pestering you about which movie I will get to be on.
Because at this point, tonight, Alfonso Cuarón is beating Charlie Chaplin by a couple of votes. And I only have 2 more matchups for this round, and it's Tim Burton versus Francis Ford Coppola, which my brother's been leveraging a lot of things in this tournament, and he is a diehard Tim Burton fan. But like, I feel like most people are just like, oh my God, The Godfather, and not thinking about the other decades of movies that you're going to make me watch.
Oh boy, Jack.
And then the last matchup of this round is Akira Kurosawa and David Fincher.
Ooh, wow. Well, how about this, Shane? Whatever director you do, I will watch them all along with you. So if there are a lot of terrible ones, I will suffer in solidarity with you.
I think the most interesting one is if Hitchcock wins and trying to find half of his movies. But we'll get there. I'm almost done Scorsese. So close. Got Silence, Rolling Thunder review, which is a Bob Dylan documentary on Netflix, and then The Irishman. But we'll have some fun with that. But thank you both for coming on, and thank all of you out there for always tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.